You just heard the pitch from Delphine Braas. Her company, Sailo, pairs boating enthusiasts with rentals and licensed captains. She's based in New York, recently expanded to Florida. We want to introduce you to our judges today, those who are going to be giving Delphine their feedback. Amy Wu from Newscred, Kamran Ansari from Greycroft, and Nick Jabbour. He is from SJ Equity Management. Amy, what do you think of the pitch?
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. You know, classic sharing economy business model. You've got boats which are fairly expensive and owners who typically don't use them year round. And so I think it makes a lot of sense. But when I compare, Sailo with an Airbnb, my question is, I see everyone has a need for a hotel, fewer people for luxury boats. Can you tell us a little bit more about the size of the market?
Yeah, sure. Well, actually, it's really big. Currently, actually in 2012, 88 million Americans went boating recreationally, which is almost 40% of the U.S. adult population. And of those, 25 million were already renting. So the current market is already really big. But we also noticed that most people who go boating as adults grew up around boats. So they grew up boating, and only 13% of people discover it as adults. So our goal is really to make it more accessible and to grow that market and to make it easier, because a lot of people won't rent a boat because they didn't grow up with it. They see it as elitist or inaccessible, and we want to make it really affordable and accessible.
So,
for
Delphine,
everyone.
you're doing sailboats and powerboats, both, right?
Yeah, we do both.
Okay, Kamran, what did you think?
Well, I think to that point, if you look at something like Uber, which has kind of expanded the market for rides that people would never thought to take before, down the street. Well, if the Uber's there, I'll just take it. So maybe you can, in fact, expand the size of the market or the demand for people, doing boating and sailing. Because I have the same question around overall market size. Obviously, the market for hotels or car transportation is much, much bigger globally than the market for sailboats or boating.
Yeah, if you just look at the current market, we have a total accessible market of $20 billion. There's 13 million privately owned boats in the U.S. If you look at boats that are over 22 feet and that are a bit newer, under 10 years, you're looking at 4 million boats in the U.S.
So, Delphine, how are you telling people this exists? What's the outreach like?
So in terms of the boat owners, it's been a lot of boat shows. We've been doing some Facebook advertising, social media strategy, Google AdWords. The press has obviously been very helpful. We've gotten a lot of website visits thanks to press. And in terms of the renters, we're going through hotel concierges for the tourists, especially in Florida where tourism is so huge, and also through the marinas and our networks.
Nick, what was your take?
It's great. Your enthusiasm is fantastic, and I'm very bullish on, Craigslist 20 years ago really started to peer-to-peer, eliminate the middleman and really make things more efficient, which you're building on. But you're not without competition, and you require a little bit more. So you require the recruitment and retention of boat owners, captains, and then the customers.
Yeah.
And to really monetize that model, I'm curious what you're doing with, even in a niche like you've got, what are you doing to set yourself apart? You've come a long way in the 2 months since you've launched, but you have a little bit of an uphill battle.
Yeah. So the way we differentiate, I'm actually going to answer that in 2 different ways. So first of all, we differentiate from how people currently go about chartering boats. So today, it's actually an industry that hasn't really changed in the last 60 years. So today, if you want to rent a boat, you're going to contact different charter companies, and you need to call them, email them, ask for quotes, and they'll give you different pricing, different packages. If you want full visibility on your options, you need to manually check those and figure out what you're paying for. So we're providing a platform where you have complete price transparency, and you can really compare and view all your different options and just book, with a few clicks. Sure. So very seamless. In terms of other peer-to-peer boat rental platforms, until 2013, they didn't exist. So it's a really new market. So there's a few startups that have been popping up around the country. We, first of all, we differentiate because we're a 3-way marketplace. So we don't just connect the boat owners and the renters, but we also connect to captains. Captains are key to our business model because they provide a more seamless, hassle-free, worry-free experience. They take care of planning, navigation, safety, where can you go for lunch. They know the waters, they know the neighborhood. So even if somebody actually does know how to operate a boat, it's
There's
always
still
nice
some tricks to gain. Amy, yes or no, would you do the introduction to your business partners?
Yeah, I would do the introduction. I would really want to dive a little bit more into the competitive field. There's you guys, there's Boatbound, there's a couple of other players. We'd really like to see how you guys really differentiate in the market.
I agree. I really like your passion and your enthusiasm. However, I think the size of the market and also just the customer acquisition dynamics will probably be challenging for us at this point. So we'll have to pass, I think.
Okay, Nick?
I'd be interested to look at a more robust user interface and especially a mobile app. I think if we could put a capital injection towards a mobile application and really going global with it as quickly as possible to kind of squash the more recent startups, I think it's something good.
So an app is in the pipeline.
Delphine, thank you. Judges, thank you.